The family reunion, a long-awaited family reunion. I'm very happy to be here, very happy to be back home. I know my ancestors are just
my ancestors, as I said, are just having a party. They're saying she finally listened. She finally listened. So I'm just happy to be here.
Have you already know from which part of Cameroon?
I am Tika.
Tika.
I am Tika in Cameroon and Boo.
Your name, please. Your name.
My name is Connie Davis, and I'm from Washington, D.C. And my mother is Dr. Taylor. She's from Atlanta, Georgia, and she's lived in D.C. for many years. I'm so glad to be home. Never expected I'd ever be here. Never in a million years, but I'm so glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to everything that's going to come. Wow, it's just wonderful. Yeah, everybody's so nice. Well, we've traced our DNA back to Cameroon to the Tikar and the Bemleke, and I guess Iwantu, and that's both on my maternal and paternal grandparents' side. My mother is Dr. Maggie Taylor, and she has written a book already, and she's continuing to write a book about our family. So she wants to complete the book with Africa, with Cameroon. So we're so glad to be here. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful.
And I were part of the last year's trip, so to come back twice is phenomenal. The trip has grown so much, and we're so glad to see our friends back home. Oh, yes, Hausa and Massa tribes in the northern area, so we'll be visiting this trip.
Bemleke, yeah.
Oh,
good. It's good to meet you. Good, yeah.
Welcome home.
Thank you. It's great to be back. We had an awesome time the last time. Everyone was staying on the bus. We don't feel like we're visiting. You know, we feel like this is home. So we love it here. The people are really warm, and we have so many connections, and it's just really, it's like once in a lifetime trip. So there are, I think, about 20 of us from the last trip that are returning on this trip, and there are a total of 87 people here this time. Last time was only 50. Yeah, everyone for the most part took a DNA test, and they basically swabbed the inside of their cheek. There's a database that a company called African Ancestry created, and they test your DNA or the tester's DNA against a database of people who are in Africa already from different ethnic groups. And if your results match someone in a current country and a tribe in Africa, they will tell you which tribe in Africa is from. For my family, we tested a direct male descendant of my great-great-great-grandfather, and he was 100% matched with Bamileke. So that result applied to the over 2,000 people in my family that we trace information for. That's why we picked that one particular person. So everyone here has some tie through DNA. Yeah, that's the one thing that the slavers couldn't take. You know, they took our language, they took our names, but they couldn't take our cheek cells.
And I'm sure that we have the same grand.
Yeah, exactly, all the way back. Yeah, thank you. All right.
Taken from motherland of Africa, Cameroon, taken in chains, separated from mothers, fathers, daughters, children. I can still hear their cries. This makes me remember that this is something that we will and we should never, ever forget. We must stay connected to Cameroon. This is our heritage. Cameroon.
I feel like if this could happen in all of the places where the slave trade took place and wound up at the Atlantic with people leaving, that we would never be broken apart again, you know? it would be healing for both sides if we could come back together and just acknowledge and say it was the past. It won't happen again.
The question then becomes, what do we do with all of this that has occurred in this trip, in the days preceding, and the days going forward? What do we do with it? Hopefully, it's an opportunity to enhance Cameroon through active engagement, or more active engagement with the United States. Hopefully it's an opportunity for the United States to have a better understanding of Cameroon and what it means, and what all of Africa means for the United States, in a more cooperative relationship and a more functioning relationship. And it's also an opportunity to end what has occurred for thousands of years by the whole world on Africa, which is attempts to steal and strip the resources of humanity, the resources of mineral wealth. It's an opportunity to bring to closure that and recognize the true history of this great continent, which in this case is a concentration on Cameroon. And we can go forward from there. This is the first day of the rest of our lives. The question is going to be what we're going to do with it. Many of us will choose to educate and inform and make the choice to engage. Hopefully all of us will do the same.
Now, on a personal note, do you feel reconciled? Do you feel healed?
My wife is Camerican. I'm here with her. So you have to ask her whether she feels some healing. I believe, from observing everyone and personally, that there's a greater feeling of connection. Maybe I should do it like this. It's a greater feeling of connection. There's a greater depth that exists, that there's this wall of the Middle Passage is starting to break down. And I think that is extremely important. There's other peoples all over the world. They don't necessarily have this break in their lineage. They don't, there's atrocities that have occurred all over the world. This is a different kind of atrocity that just kind of tears away a history. It's starting to get connected, and it's starting to allow us to do so much more. And again, the question is going to be, what do we do in the future? What do we do in the future? What do we choose to do in the future? What do journalists choose to cover in the future? What stories do journalists choose to tell about Africa? How do you choose? We in America, we have no understanding. There is nothing that communicates in America what's going on in Africa. Absolutely nothing. You have CNN Africa, MSNBC Africa, CNBC Africa. You have all of that, and you get to connect throughout your entire continent. We as Black Americans, as African Americans, we don't have any of that. So we don't know what's truly going on here. We have no understanding of what's going on here. Okay? You, if you can't get it on your TV, you must put it on the internet and ship it out everywhere so that our people can all see what is happening here. All right? And that we are so much more this than we are this.
Let it run it out.
She's okay now. There are too many cooks here. There are too many cooks here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
VODUN